45 and I can feel your arms around me.
Sound check, sound check. Alright, I was informed by Truly in the chat that we had a mic issue. Hopefully we're good now. Hope we're getting that sorted out. This is my first time trying to stream on the PC, so just a technical issue for me to work through. So that'll be what all the drivers are trying to shoot for. So we got a Red Bull in the final turns. Looks like it's Tim Groff. He's aborting his lap. He's going back to the time. Just got a 132.0. 1 second for the time being. So an Alpine around the last couple of corners. Looks like that's Morris on his out lap. He's one of the faster guys in this league, so let's follow along with him. Let's watch this lap and see how it goes. This will probably be a good one. As we see GK Basco at the top of the board with a 129.9. It's a good improvement over what was the provisional pole time, so it should be a solid lap, but we'll see what the other drivers have to say about that. Morris. See what his sector one time looks like. It's 26.6. Looks like it's purple on the screen, so off to a good start, it seems. It's looking like a good lap. All the track. Just check the mic settings here. Alright, should be a little louder now. Hopefully that's good. And Morris goes to the top of the board as he finishes that lap. He's 7 seconds up on the previous provisional pole time. So, got a number of people in the pits right now. People, not too many people on the track, only a couple of cars. Let's see if anyone else is on a hot lap. Most of these people are probably on end laps. Looks like Truly's on the hot lap here. Yeah, raced against Truly in the practice race on Saturday yesterday, and he really slammed the show. Great performance. Imagine he'll be one of the ones to beat here today. And we'll see how this lap's looking so far. Looks like a purple sector 2 time. Let's see if he can bring it home. Corners to go here. We'll see where this lap puts him. He goes to the top of the board with a 28.6. So that's about 6 cents faster than anyone else has put up so far. That'll be a tough one for people to beat, but we still got plenty of time left here in qualifying. Looks like Tim Groff may be on a hot lap here. He had come out of the pits earlier, and I guess he aborted his attempt, but he's back out there again. Let's follow along with him, see how this lap's looking. See the Aston Martin is on the hot lap, nice and gets out of the way for him. We always love to see that when we're in qualifying. the Red Bull. Here rounding corners in Sector 2. It's looking like a pretty good lap. Don't know what the time's looking like, but at least it looks nice. You see the Red Bull rounding the last corner here. We'll see where this lap puts him. Let's see, 7th of the 8 drivers that have set a time so far. And it looks like the Aston Martin behind him may be starting to hop up. Yeah, this GK pass. Around the first couple of corners here in Sector 1. Let's go on board with him. Let's get a look at this track. Reprofiled the Singapore track for this season, so it's a pretty nice change overall in my opinion. Getting rid of some of the 90-degree bars, making it a little more flowing of the layout. So should put on a good show for us today. Looks like GK's carrying a good amount of speed through these corners in Sector 2. Good job rounding that slower corner there. Looks like he's improved over a second through Sector 2. That'll be enough to put him on pole if he can keep it up. Bobbled a little bit. It's going to cost him some time, but we'll see where it puts him. Alright, so he's able to improve a little bit, but he just missed out on the provisional pole time by 2/100ths of a second. Yeah, that little bobble at the end of the lap there did cost him quite a bit, it seems. But there's still plenty of time left in qualifying. He should be able to give it another go. Looks like we have Morris on track for another hot lap. Using all of the track here, it seems. It's definitely looking like a good lap. Got a couple drivers on track right now. It seems everyone's waiting for the end of the session to start their final hot laps. But right now Morris is up about 0.6 of a second through Sector 2. So this could put him in contention for the pole. Just have to see how the rest of the lap goes. Maybe he lost a little time there. Car got a little loose on him, but he saved it. It looks like he did enough to take provisional pole. It's up by 0.2 of a second over Truly's previous provisional pole time. We got 2 drivers on outlaps. We've got Hayes Gran in the Alfa Romeo and Ennis in the Williams. Looks like Ennis will be the first to cross the line here and start a hot lap. So we'll follow along with him and see how this goes for him. He hasn't set a time yet, so this will be his first time lap. He'll look to go near the top of the board if he can. So he's going through the first DRS segment. Oh, it looks like he's invalidated his lap. That's too bad. He should still have time to put another lap on the board, hopefully. You can see we started to have some more drivers trickle out of the pit lane. So things are going to heat up here in a little bit. We've got Hasgren coming around the last couple of corners, about to start his hot lap. We'll see what he can do in the Alfa Romeo. Right now he's in 7th place. We're looking to improve on that if he can. Looks like through Sector 1 he's improved on his previous time by about 0.3 of a second. So far looking like a good lap. Things are pretty tightly bunched in the middle of the pack, so he could gain a few positions if he keeps that up. Looks like we've got a McLaren stopped on the track. Looks like it was rusty, but he's gotten going again, so no harm, no foul there. We'll jump back on board with Hasgren here, see how his lap's going. He's about to cross the Sector 2 line. And so, still up by a little bit on his previous lap, but his Sector 2 was not as good as his Sector 1, and he's invalidated his lap. That's too bad. So we'll bring it on to the pits, and I don't know how much time we have left in the session. I don't know if we'll have time to give it another go or not, but we'll see what ends up happening. You see we have Craig Dunn reserving up from Tier 2. Looks like he's in the middle of a hot lap here. We'll see where he can stack up against these Tier 1 boys. Pretty good through the first 2 sectors here. Only a couple corners left in the lap. And we see Craig's rounding the final corner here. We'll see where this lap ends up putting him. So right now he's 10th of the 10 drivers who have set a time. But you can see on the mini-map in the bottom right, the track's starting to get busier as we near the end of this qualifying session. Everyone's looking to get a time in when the track's at its fastest. Looks like we have another AlphaTauri rounding the line here. It's Demur looking to start a hot lap. Right now he's in 4th place, pretty respectable showing, but he'll see if he can improve on that. See, Rusty's retired from the qualifying session, so he's going to have to stand on the 132.0 that he set early on. But here we are with Demur crossing the Sector 1 line here, and it's improved by 1/10 of a second over his previous time. There is a 2-second gap between his time and the 3rd place time, so he's going to have to do quite a bit of work in Sector 2 and 3 if he wants to try to improve his position. Some really fast times we've got from the top 3 guys, all 128s within 0.2 of a second of each other. So those 3 so far, they're definitely looking like they'll be the 3 to beat today. And then you got about a 2-second gap from 3rd to 4th place. So looks like we may have a 3-car breakaway up front when the race hits, but who knows? Maybe some of these guys are saving something for the race. And Demur crosses the line. He does improve by about 0.5 of a second, but again, he's still about a second and a half behind the top 3 guys. We have Jesse in the Alpine who has set a lap time, and that puts him right in between GK and Demur in 4th place. We have an Aston Martin who's crossed the line. That's Justin. That puts him in 5th place for the time being. Truly is rounded. Has crossed the finish line, complete his final hot lap, and it's a very good lap. 128.0 puts him in first place by about 4/10 of a second. Really nice lap. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to do anything about that, but we still got a few cars left on the track. We got NS4 on the Williams here. Hadn't set a time yet. This will be his first and final lap. And that puts him in 5th place. Pretty good lap overall. And Tim Graw passes the finish line to complete his lap. That is an improvement for him. It'll put him in 7th place. And it looks like we're done with qualifying. So we'll wait for things to wrap up here, and then we'll get a look at the final qualifying results. Here we have Truly McQueen in the McLaren with a very good lap, 128.0. Takes pole by over 3/10 of a second over Morris in the Alpine. We've got GK in the Aston Martin in 3rd place, Jesse in 4th, and Ennis in 5th. Then rounding out the order, we got Justin in 6th, Tim Graw in 7th, Demur in 8th, Luigi in 9th, Haysgram in 10th, Rusty in 11th, Craig in 12th, and Bronco in 13th, who was not able to set a time during the session. So, got a really quick group of 3 guys up front. It's going to be hard for the rest of the field to have anything to say about those guys. Just maybe a race for 4th for the rest of them. But again, this is Singapore. Anything can happen. So we'll just have to wait for the race and see what goes on. And we'll take a short break here while the drivers are getting their strategies set up, and then we'll get ready to get started with the race. So, we're here at Singapore waiting on drivers and their teams to make final strategy calls and get everything ready to get this race started. Be interesting to see what strategies the drivers have chosen to go with today. I assume we'll see a lot of hard medium, maybe some medium hard strategy. Is it possible we'll see any 2-stop strategies? We'll just have to wait and see. It may be possible here. This track does seem to eat tires quite a bit. But in any case, it should be a good show. Alright, we're about to get this race underway. There's the 5 red lights. Lights are away, and there they go. Truly leads him off. Yeah, good start from the McLaren. He's got a good solid lead so far. GK in the Aston Martin is in second. And Jesse in the Alpines got in third place from his teammate Morris here at the start. And then closely behind Morris we have Ennis in the Williams. It looks like everyone got away cleanly. Pretty non-controversial start, so that's always good to see. It looks like Bronco in the Ferrari has fallen behind quite a bit. Not sure if he's had some sort of problem or what's going on there, but hopefully they can get it figured out and he can get back into the thick of things. There you have a look at possible race strategies presented by Amazon Web Services. So you can see 2 stoppers and 3 stoppers, or 1 stoppers or 2 stoppers are both options here. You can see most of our guys have opted for hard tires. You have a few on medium, so we will get to see a couple of different strategy calls play out, see how things go for them. But great start from Truly in the McLaren. He's got a 2-second lead through lap 1. Everything's looking pretty clean so far. Got a couple of Red Bulls battling for position here. You got Tim Gra in 7th and Luigi driving the other Red Bull in reserve. He's in 8th place right now. Oh, and we've had a retirement. Looks like Bronco has decided to retire in the pits. So not sure whatever happened at the start of the race. May have been a terminal issue for him, or maybe he just decided that he had had enough. But in any case, the Ferrari's out of the race. You see Justin, the Aston Martin, had to make a pit stop at the end of the first lap. Assuming he had gotten some damage at some point during the lap. But he's back out there, and he'll be chasing the rest of the pack. See Truly still out front, expanding his lead. It's about 2.8 seconds out in front now at the moment. So, amazing start for him. Be tough for the rest of the field to try to do anything about it. But there you see we have GK in second still. He's got Jesse in the Alpine not too far behind him. So if he can keep within that distance by the end of this lap, he can put himself in position to have DRS on the next lap. You see Morris is a little farther behind his teammate. He'll have to do a little work if he wants to try to get within DRS range. So Truly has set the fastest lap of the race out in front, not surprising. So 132 will be what all the rest of the field's chasing if they want to go for the fastest lap points. But yeah, you can see that's really the benefit of starting on the medium tires. He's got a lot of speed here the first part of the race. We'll just see what happens when they switch, when Truly goes on into the hards, and when the drivers that are currently all hards go into medium. We'll see if that strategy choice ends up working out for Truly. So really, this is the closest competition we have on the track right now. Is GK in second place, with Jesse and Morris following him. We're on lap 3. We'll have DRS, and we'll see if the DRS makes a difference and helps these guys start to make passes on each other. And you enter the second of the DRS zones here. They're onto this new long straight, part of the changes that they made to the layout of this track. It really has helped make the lap a little quicker and more free-flowing. Really, I like the changes personally. I think it makes the track a lot better overall. So these guys continue to stay close to one another here for second through 4th, but they're falling behind Truly. Truly's now out to a 4.6 second lead through 3 laps. So strong performance so far from the McLaren. A little further back, got Ennis in 5th place. He's being chased by Demur in the AlphaTauri. So he's managed to stay within DRS range here. I'm not sure the DRS is going to be enough to help him make the pass, but he is staying within the range so he can at least stay close to him. And we still have the 2 Red Bulls close together. We've got Luigi in 7th. I believe Tim Grau was in 7th earlier, so that was a pass that happened at some point. But Tim Grau's managing to stay within 1 second so far. And back in 9th, we have the Alfa Romeo of Haysgran, and he's being followed closely by Craig in the AlphaTauri, again within the 1 second range. So looks like overall the field's kind of spread out a little bit, but you do have little groups of people that have stuck together, mostly with the aid of DRS, I would imagine. So hopefully we can see some good battles here. Hopefully see some passes between all these little groups. You see Rusty's a little further back in 11th place right now. I'm not sure if he had some problem or something that we missed, but he's running out there by himself in 11th place right now. And we already talked about earlier, Justin had to make an early pit stop at the end of lap 1. So you see he's a little further back there in 12th place. But going back to the front of the field, Truly's still out in the lead. Gap seems to be stabilizing a little bit. He's up by 4.7 seconds. At some point you would imagine that these tires will cross over and you may see GK start to catch up a little bit, but I don't think we're quite at that point yet. We see Haysgran, the Alfa Romeo, has picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits warnings. So I'm not sure at this point if that'll affect him too much at the end of the race or not, but something we'll have to keep an eye on. And again, that gap between 1st and 2nd seems to be pretty stable. It's been about 4.6, 4.7 seconds for the last couple of laps. Truly's times, his lap times are not what they were at the start of the race. Through Sector 2 on this lap, he's about 2 seconds down his fastest lap time. So those medium tires may be beginning to degrade just a little bit. You still have all 3 of these guys close together for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It seems like it's pretty difficult to make a pass here, even with the aid of DRS. Something I've noticed doing practice races and racing offline. It's easy to catch up to someone, but it's hard to get by them unless you're using DRS and battery. But you see the cars here are entering one of the DRS zones, and we'll see if they can maybe make use of the DRS to make something happen. And yeah, it doesn't look like it on this occasion. So they'll all hold serve 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Some of the battles we were following earlier have become not battles anymore. Seems some of the cars are starting to separate a little more. Ennis is all by himself on the track for 5th place at the moment. He's got no one within 6 seconds in front of him, no one within 4 seconds of behind him. But you see the Red Bulls of Luigi and Tim Grau are starting to catch up to Demur and the AlphaTauri just a little bit. And it looks like we've had an issue in Sector 1 or 2. You're not sure who it was, but everyone is moving just fine right now. So it looks like that all sorted itself out. Here we have a battle for 9th place. Haysgran's in 9th right now. His 3-second penalty notwithstanding. He's got Craig not too far behind him. We'll see if Craig can do anything about that. He's about half a second behind. They're both pretty even on battery. Each used about 75%. But they will get on the front straight here, and Craig will have DRS. But it just seems like you got to be pretty close to make use of DRS. Yeah, he didn't really make up much time there at all, did he? He'll have another chance here. There you see he turns DRS on. It's about half a second back when he turns it on. He makes up about a tenth and a half, 2/10 maybe, but it's not enough to mount a serious charge for the position. Looking back to the battle up front, Truly is still in the lead, but GK's managed to cut down the gap quite a bit. So we had about a second and a half from the maximum gap that we had earlier in the race. So it's now a 3.2 second gap. So he's starting to make up time. Within a few laps, if things keep going the way they are when we have a battle for the lead. So that's something we'll make sure to keep an eye on. But we still do have the battle for second place here between these three cars. GK seems to be pretty stable in second place. Jesse and Morris are trying to chase him, but not having much luck. The gap's pretty much holding steady between 5/10, 8/10 of a second, and just enough to stay within DRS, but not really close enough to make a serious battle for position here. Morris thinks about taking a look there, but it just wasn't happening at that moment. So he'll have to stay in line and wait for another opportunity. We still have Ennis all by himself on the track in 5th place. Demur in 6th. The Red Bulls have managed to call it up to him, so we may have a battle here. One of the next few straights. Red Bulls both seem to be a little bit faster than the AlphaTauri at the moment. Over their pace advantage, they may be able to take advantage of DRS here on this straight and get by. This might be the chance for them. You see Luigi, he's thinking about it, and he pulls out to the left. So didn't quite get by there, but he does use a little bit of battery, and that may have been just enough for him. It looks like he's edging past the AlphaTauri, and he has. Luigi's taking 6th place. So we start to see some pit stops. It looks like GK lost some time, and he lost a wing. We must have missed an accident here, and the safety car is out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, how it affects people's strategies. You see a number of cars are coming down the pits, and yeah, these guys may have gotten a little lucky, been able to get on the pit road while the front guys weren't. See, we got a report in the chat from Truly. He's had wing damage since lap 4. Sorry you missed that, but in that case, it's pretty impressive that he's been managing to hold on to the lead the way he has. So I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to go to the end from here, lap 9. Maybe a stretch to try to take Hard's 22 laps or so. You see Demur was able to make a pit stop, but he picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so that's unfortunate. See Rusty, Justin in 11th and 12th place respectively have made pit stops and they're back out. I assume this Truly rounds Sector 3 here, gets close to the pit lane, we'll see him dive in and make a wing change and get some new tires. And there's the McLaren diving down pit lane. Let's see if the crew does change the wing here. And there you see the crew at work getting the old wing off, putting the new wing on. Just gotten the work done. – But the wing change does cost him the lead. Morris just barely gets past him there. So it'll be interesting to see with a new wing if he gets the pace back he had the first few laps and see if he's able to make a pass. Here you see GK in the Aston Martin. He's out of pits as well. He's in 3rd place. Ennis in the Williams has jumped up to 4th. And we have Jesse in 5th now in the Alpine. The front few cars have managed to catch up to the safety car. The rest of the pack is trying to catch up as well. I'm not sure if they'll be able to catch up on this lap or not, so we may have another lap of caution flag still to come. But we'll watch as the cars come around the track and start to catch up. While we're under caution here, let's take a look at movers and shakers since the start of the race. So, looking at position changes, Luigi and the Red Bulls managed to make up 3 spots from his 9th place starting position. And now we'll have an opportunity to try to pick up some more once we go green with the field bunched up here. Haskran's also picked up 2 places in the Alfa Romeo, but he does have a 3-second time penalty he's sitting on. Craig has also picked up 2 places in the AlphaTauri. Justin the Aston Martin has lost 6 places. He did have an incident on lap 1 that resulted in him having to make a pit stop, but now he's got an opportunity to catch back up and potentially make some moves here. But apart from that, not too much movement, just little onesie twosies here and there. And yeah, looks like we will not be able to go green at the end of this lap, so we'll have at least one more lap of caution still to go. So it looks like this will be at least a 2-stop race for Truly. He started on mediums and now he's on his 2nd set of mediums, so he'll have to make another stop towards the end of the race. We've had a number of drivers who started on hards and are now on mediums. I can't see them possibly making these mediums go to the end of the race, but that'd be pretty impressive if they were. So imagine we'll see pretty much everybody make another stop here. We do have some guys who started on mediums and are now on hards, like Jesse and Luigi. You know, maybe they could go 20 laps on hards. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but I suppose it's possible at least. They would probably lose quite a bit of pace trying to do that, but we'll just have to see how things play out. We should be able to get going again here at the end of this lap. Field's pretty much bunched up nose to tail at the moment. Should be a pretty exciting restart. And Truly with that wing change, maybe able to get back some of the pace he had early on. Remember, he was able to get out to about a 5-second gap within 2 or 3 laps. So imagine he'll be pretty anxious to try to get by Morris here and see if he can get away from the pack again. And there it is. We do get official word that the safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap. So Morris will lead them away for a restart once they get to the end of the lap here. Hopefully we get a nice clean restart. Don't want to see any more carnage if we can avoid it. Morris is leading them through the last few corners here. Pretty steady 50 miles per hour pace. We'll see when he decides to change that, hit the accelerator and get moving. There it is. The Alpine is away and we are racing again. Good restart for the Alpine, but also a good restart for the McLaren behind him. and the Aston Martin GK as well. So all three of those guys got away pretty well. Alpine uses just a little bit of battery there to try to keep control of the gap, but the McLaren is holding pretty steady right behind him, even making up a little time here. So looks like we had a nice clean restart. Didn't have too much action there. No one seemed to have hit anyone. It's good to see. Looking at our battle up front here, seems to be a pretty steady 2 to 3 tenths of a second gap between the two. Truly maybe making up just a little bit of time here. He's very close to the Alpine. Definitely seems like he's a little bit faster at the moment, but it's definitely a tricky track to try to make a pass on. Looks like he's content to just wait for the right moment, not trying to force the issue too much. But you can see both of the guys out in front, Morris and Trulli, have managed to break away a little bit from third place. Nice solid clean battle so far for the lead. Trulli's still holding within 2 to 3 tenths of a second. If he can keep this gap, he'll get DRS on the next lap. So maybe the DRS is all he needs to make the pass. We'll just had to wait and see how it goes. Looking further back through the pack, it looks like some gaps are beginning to form. We do have a good race here for 7th place between Luigi, Hayscreen, Demur, and Craig. They're all pretty close together. Not too much farther back, we have Rusty. But then we have Justin trying to see if he can make a pass there. It's not happened on this occasion, but we'll have more chances later on in the lap. Going back to the front. So looks like Morris has managed to increase the gap by just a little bit, but Trulli still holding close, and he is well within DRS range. So yeah, anything can happen here. And we have a new fastest lap of the race. Morris has set a new benchmark for everybody to go for, a 1:32.1. So solid lap time for this stage of the race. And Trulli will get his first shot with DRS here. It's about 4 tenths of a second back when he turns it on. It's not quite enough for him to get alongside on this straight at least, but he did make up about a tenth or so, tenth and a half maybe. It's been a nice clean battle. These guys are putting on a good show for us here. Trulli manages to stay very close to that rear wing of Morris, and he'll get DRS here. He may be close enough to make a move here. Not quite. This is almost there. Just didn't quite have enough. And now they're on to this new long straight here. Fortunately, not a DRS zone. Might be more interesting if it was. Now we have the DRS zone on the main straight. Trulli is very close to Morris. Again, just not quite enough. It's very, very difficult to make a track at this. Very difficult to make a pass at this track, even if you are faster than the car in front. But gotta appreciate the good, clean show these guys are giving us. Just managing to stay very close without making even slight contact. It's definitely the best battle we've got on track at the moment. And it's been a good one. See if Truly can get a good exit here. Maybe able to do something about it. Not quite in this DRS zone, but yeah, this gap's holding really steady. It's been between 2 and 4/10 of a second pretty much since the restart. But Truly decides to take his chance here. Looks like he applied a little bit of battery, and it was just enough for him to get his way out in front. So Truly's now the leader again. And we'll see if Morris can get back around him possibly. Oh no, Morris has picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits warning, so that's too bad. It'll affect his finishing time, but there's still nose to tail here on the track, so we still have the opportunity to see a good battle, even if it may not necessarily be for the win. But you never know. Sometimes these track limits penalties can get appealed and overturned by the stewards. You know, there's always mitigating factors that can affect whether or not they're actually legitimate penalties. So may not want to read too much into that, but it is definitely something for us to keep in mind and keep an eye on. You know, it does look like Truly's just a little bit faster than Morris at this stage. The gap's increased to about half a second. Morris will still be within DRS range here, but he may not be there for many more laps. It just seems like the DRS really isn't as big of a factor here as it is at other places. May help you catch up a little, may help you gain a tenth, maybe a tenth and a half or 2/10, but doesn't have the OP factor that it may have at some other tracks. Which you can debate whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it definitely does make it harder to make a pass here. So Morris is still within DRS. About 0.6 of a second behind at the start of that zone. Oh, and Truly has also picked up a 3-second time penalty. So that puts these guys on even footing right now. So something for us to keep an eye on. These guys are out in front. GK is only about 3 seconds behind second place, so he could potentially steal the win if he can close in. I don't know that he has the pace to do it right now, but anything can happen. And if we get another safety car, obviously that'll bunch things up and make that 3-second penalty for both these guys a little bit more of a factor. So this gap up front's holding pretty steady, around half a second. So still a good battle. Looks like Truly does have the upper hand at the moment, but we'll see if Morris can find some extra pace here somewhere. Again, this has been the best battle on track. Seen gaps form throughout most of the pack. We do have a good battle for 8th place, with Haskran in the position right now, being closely followed by Demur. Craig's only about another second behind. We'll see if Demur can do anything here in this DRS zone. Doesn't look like it. He is closing up a little bit, just not quite enough. But yeah, this is really about the only good battle on the track aside from our battle for the lead. We do have the Aston Martin of Justin here in 11th, and Rusty about a second behind him, so that's something for us to keep an eye on. But really, the battle's up front. It's a big battle for us to pay attention to here. It's been a pretty good one. Obviously we saw Morris ahead of Truly for several laps after the restart. Truly was able to get by, seems to have a little bit more pace, but Morris isn't going anywhere. He's still holding steady about half a second behind. Maybe he's just waiting for Truly to slip up. Maybe he's got some more pace in reserve he's holding on to. We'll have to just keep an eye on this and see how it goes. But you can see here on this lap, it looks like Truly is making up a little bit of time. That gap's grown by a little bit, a few tenths of a second. Morris is still within DRS range, but at the moment, he's right on the edge of it. So Truly could look to pick up the pace just a little bit and see if he can keep Morris out of DRS range in future zones. You see it's a 9/10 of a second gap here. Stay close in on the next DRS trap. And it looks like Morris will just be within that 1 second gap. But Truly is really close to breaking free here. He may be able to do it here in the next couple of corners. And again, I think Morris was just within that 1 second gap there as they passed the DRS detection zone. He's done a really good job to stay within that 1 second gap for as long as he has. So looking at the penalty situation here, we've talked about all of these already, but just as a recap, and just as I pull it up, there's another penalty for us. Justin has picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits warnings. So we've had 3-second penalties for Truly, Morris, Hayscreen, and Justin. Demur has a 5-second pit road speeding penalty. But those are all the penalties that we've seen so far. It'll be interesting to see if we see some pit stops soon. We're getting close within the next lap or two to the point where if these guys are trying to cut the rest of the race in half from the safety car, where they would want to be making a pit stop. So we took a moment to look at the penalties and the tire situation. Truly had managed to pick up a few more tenths of a second on Morris, and he is broken free. Morris is no longer within DRS range. In fact, the gap has grown to about 1.9 seconds. So, definitely Truly's race to lose at this point. And we'll go a little further back in the pack. We've only got one really close battle at the moment, and it's Hayscran and Craig. Hayscran has 9th position right now. Craig is pretty close behind him. Just trying to see if he's got anything to say about it. It's been a pretty respectable showing for Craig overall, I'd say, for a guy reserving up from Tier 2. It's nice to see him in the thick of things with some of our Tier 1 regulars. And it looks like Hayscran had a little bit of trouble there, and Craig was able to get by. Justin was also able to get by. Let's see if we see any damage. Hopefully not. Looks like he's missing his end plate, so I'm not sure if he's going to come in and get his wing replaced or not. But that'll probably slow him down at a downforce-dependent track like this. You can see he's losing quite a bit of time to the guys in front. Rusty will probably... Oh no, he hits the wall. Hopefully, yeah, it looks like he did get some more damage. I can see the debris sitting on the track there. Yeah, his wing is totally gone at the moment, so definitely imagine that we'll be seeing him head down pit road at the end of this lap and get a new wing and make a tire change as well. So that's unfortunate. But there's still a long way to go in this race. Still got more than 10 laps left. And who knows, we may see another safety car. You may be able to catch back up to everyone in front. Looking back up at our leaders, we got Truly in the lead. His gap has grown to about 2.5 seconds over Morris. Morris is about 4 seconds ahead of GK in 3rd place. So, yeah, not too many close battles out on the track at the moment. Everyone's pretty spread out. And Hayscran has elected to retire from the race. That's unfortunate. He's been having a decent race up until the point where he encountered some wing damage. But now we just have 11 drivers left on the track. So solid points on offer for everyone who is left in the race. You still see Truly's holding steady with about a 2.5 second lead. Really just exercising some gap management at the moment, it appears. And Truly's heading down into pit lane. Looks like he is going to try to split the rest of this race in half like we were talking about. And he's done 2 mediums so far, so imagine he will be putting on hards here. Oh, he's putting on softs. So that may work out. Imagine we'll see some really fast laps here as he gets back up to speed. We'll probably have a little bit of wear to deal with at the end of the race, but if he can put down some really fast laps, it may not be too big of a deal. And he's back on track in 6th place. So you can see just what kind of pace he was setting. He didn't lose too many positions there. He's only 2 seconds behind Tim Gross. So yeah, we don't have too many close battles. So we'll follow along with this and see just how fast he can make his way back up through the field. As you saw there, Rusty's also picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits warnings. So there's a lot of track limits warnings to deal with today. You see Truly's already made up 2.5, and he may get by Tim Gras right here. Not quite, but definitely would imagine the next DRS zone, if not earlier. And you see he gets a really solid exit there heading onto the straight, and he's already passed pretty much before he even got DRS turned on, I think. So Truly's already back up to 5th place. So really strong pace on those new soft tires. We'll have to see what Morris chooses to do in reaction. Right now Morris is content to stay on the track on those aging mediums. Imagine we'll see him go on to softs here within the next few laps. And this is going to be a strong contender for fastest lap of the race here, if I had to bet. So you see Truly start his first clean lap on the softs. He's already 2 seconds ahead of Tim Gras, who he just passed on the last lap. He's closing in on Jesse, only 6 seconds behind. He was 9 seconds behind not too long ago. It's just really good pace out of the McLaren today. You know, you see there are purple sector 1 time, so strong lap indeed. And that gap to 4th place is now down to just over 4 seconds. The rate he's going, he's probably half closed right up on the Alpine by the end of the lap here. You know, let's see what this sector 2 looks like. Yeah, he's a 1.5 seconds over what he had previously done. So it's a really strong lap, really strong pace on these soft tires. And you see on the mini-map, the Alpina Morris is still on the track. Hasn't elected to come in and make a stop yet. He's going to be losing a lot of time here. He's truly setting some fast times with these soft tires. There you have it. The fastest lap of the race, a 1:31 from Truly. Really strong lap. And he's only a 1.5 seconds out of 4th place now. And I think he's just outside of the 1 second gap for DRS there. But he's going to have made up time and caught these guys in no time. Here you see he's only about half a second behind Jesse in 4th. Then only another second up the road is Ennis in 3rd. So, remains to be seen how this is all going to play out. But Truly definitely setting some fast times with these soft tires. He also is dealing with a little bit of traffic, so not sure how much that's going to offset We'll just have to see where Morris comes out when Morris eventually makes a pit stop. And there you see Truly is already up to 3rd place. So looking at the gaps, he should have a strong lead once Morris makes a pit stop. Assuming Morris does make a pit stop, maybe he won't. Let's take a look at the tires here. So he's done 15 laps on mediums. Be hard to imagine him doing another 6, but maybe he will. But Truly may just catch him on the track with these soft tires. He's setting some really good times. So as it stands on the track, Morris is about 6 seconds ahead of GK in the Aston Martin. Morris does have that 3-second time penalty to deal with, as does Truly. But Truly is only another 5 seconds behind GK. It'll probably be just a matter of a couple laps or so until he is caught up to him. Close battle on the track at the moment. It's right here for 4th place. We have Ennis in the Williams and Jesse in the Alpine following closely behind. And see Craig in the AlphaTauri has come down and made a pit stop. He's going to put on some soft tires and see if he can lay down some fast laps for the last couple of laps of this race. Yes, you can see there, still a close battle for 4th. Truly continuing to make up time on the guys up front. He's now only 3 seconds behind GK. Really good pace on these soft tires. At this point it really seems like these guys on these old medium tires are going to try to go to the end. So it's pretty impressive. A few really long stints on a track that's not always kind to your tires. So we'll see if these guys can hold it together. There's only a few laps left in this race. But you can definitely see the pace gap. Even Truly's tires are Truly soft tires are 4 laps old at this point. He's still making them good time. So he's now within a second of GK out in front of him in 2nd place. And it'll probably only be a matter of time until he has managed to get past him. He will have DRS here. See, he gets a strong exit through that corner. About 0.3 of a second back. May not quite be able to get there at the end of the straight, but he'll have a few more opportunities before the end of this lap. This long straight here, you see Truly's only about 0.2 of a second back. He's not going to quite get close enough to make a move here, I don't think. But probably here on this main straight, it's probably where he's going to get him. He's close behind, within 0.2 of a second, even before applying DRS. And there he makes his move. He gets to the inside. Easy pass for Truly up to 2nd place. So if these guys are going to go to the end of the race on their old tires, Truly has 6 seconds to make up on Morris, and he'll have to get 3 seconds up on GK to account for his penalty. So I'm not sure if that 3-second gap will be a problem or not, but 6 seconds to make up for the lead may be a lot to ask for, but we'll see how it plays out here. And we've had a change of position for 4th place. Jesse in the Alpine has managed to get by Ennis. It looks like it took all of his battery to do so, but he is up front. I imagine he'll probably have a good pace gap until the end of the race. He's on hard tires. Ennis is on mediums. So imagine Jesse's tires probably have a little more life in them. But we'll check back on Truly's hunt for the lead. You see he's already made up about a second or more since he got by GK. So he's now within 5 seconds. He's got just a little over 4 laps to do it. The pace he's going appears he'll probably be able to get there. Should be a fun chase for us to watch here the last 4 laps of the race. So the gap between first and second now just over 4 seconds. Truly is making up time in a hurry. So soft tires, even though they already have 6 laps on them, seem to be quite a bit faster than the old mediums. And you can see Truly has made up the 3-second gap on GK, so his penalty, his track limits penalty, shouldn't be a factor for him here. And again, Morris also has a 3-second track limits penalty, so everything should be equal for these guys. And yeah, take a look here and just confirm. Yeah, those guys are both still sitting on 3 seconds of penalties. Gap is now down to about 3 seconds, and Truly is closing it in a hurry. And he can see the Alpine of Morris in front of him now in the straights. You can see that Alpine getting just a little bit bigger as well. Well, always interesting when you're going to watch a Grand Prix and see different competing strategies play out. You know, it's one of the things personally that I love about watching motorsports. It's not always about what you see on track, but sometimes it's just, you know, a mind game, doing different things and seeing how they play out. And that gap is now down to just over 2 seconds. So he's still making up time. Hopefully he has enough life left in these soft tires that he'll be able to continue to make up time. We have just about 2.5 laps left in this race. I think he's got enough time to do it. Still making up time little by little. Let's take a look at Morris here, see if he's having a hard time in those old tires. It's looking pretty stable, so he's doing a pretty good job holding on to things out there. But that gap is continuing to come down. It's about 1.5 seconds now. It's really impressive to watch these guys on these old tires. Continuing to put down respectable lap times. But it may not be enough for Morris. Truly has now cut the gap down to about 1.2 seconds. And he's still got over 2 laps to get this done. He's going to come close to getting DRS here. I don't think he's going to quite get it. I think he's just about 1/10 away from DRS. But he's continuing to make up time. And he'll probably have the gap down to less than 1 second by the end of the straight here. And yeah, as things stand, it looks like Truly is going to get DRS in the next zone. Gap's down to 0.7 of a second. Just about 1.5 laps to go. And Truly is cutting down time, and now he's got the benefit of DRS. I don't think he'll be able to get it by the end of the straight. No, not quite. But he's definitely closed the gap quite a bit, only 0.2 of a second behind. And you see Jesse has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Right now he's about 4 seconds over Ennis, so that may not affect him too much by the end of this race. As you see Truly only about 1/10 of a second behind. It's very close. The battle for the lead definitely intensifying here. And, oh, slight contact there. That's too bad. But Truly has gotten alongside. Not able to get past here. I'm not sure if he got any wing damage out of that or not. None visible, at least. But he has lost some time to Morris out in front. That gap is now back up to 0.8 of a second. So now it'll come down to the last lap. Truly continuing to make up time now as he's gotten back going again. He still has the benefit of DRS. This is the last lap of the Singapore Grand Prix, and still to be decided who's going to be the winner here. We've got a nice battle for the lead here to watch on this last lap. 0.4 of a second gap now between first and second. Truly's going to have some DRS to play with here. It's about half a second behind in the moment. Don't think he got a best exit coming out of the corner. He didn't even really make up time with the DRS. But you can see Morris is out of battery. He's been doing everything he can to hold on to this lead. Oh, Morris has picked up another 3-second time penalty on the last lap of the race while leading. And Morris has wing damage as well. I'm not sure. I assume he just picked that up the moment that he got the time penalty. Otherwise, we would have seen a big pace difference, I think. So imagine with no front wing, Morris is going to have a really hard time holding off Truly here. You see, Truly is able to just barely get his outside, and with DRS, he's going to get out in front. So he's going to take the lead on the racetrack. So yeah, Morris already had 3-second time penalty, so that may not have amounted to much. I'm not sure if we'll have any instant reports at the end of this race to deal with or not. But as it stands, Truly is going to win this race on the racetrack. Or is he? GK Bass has caught up time on both these guys. That's going to be close. But it looks like Truly has pulled it off. Morris had an additional 3 seconds of penalties. And yeah, there you have it. The gap between Truly and GK, when accounting for the 3-second penalty, is about half a second. So, looks like Truly has won this race pending the outcome of any incidents that may be filed. Got GK Bass in second place in the Aston Martin. Morris in third in the Alpine. The other Alpine and Jesse in fourth. Ennis is in fifth. Temgra crosses the line in sixth. And there's the other Red Bull. Luigi reserving in the Red Bull in seventh place. Demur just picked up a 3-second time penalty on the last lap. Looks like he will do just enough to hold on to 8th place in the AlphaTauri. Justin to Aston Martin is in 9th place right now, but he has 3 seconds of penalties, and Craig is within 3 seconds. So Craig is going to take 9th place here in the AlphaTauri. Justin will round out the top 10 to Aston Martin. And then we have Rusty Oil Cannon, the other McLaren, Blasco on track. He's going to come home to finish 11th place. And yeah, it's definitely a fun race. Ended up having a good battle for the lead, even if we didn't have too many other battles going on the track. At least we had a solid battle for the lead that ended up going from pretty much the start of the race until the last lap. So we saw different strategies play out, and Truly ended up taking advantage of his strategy, taking advantage of some wing damage that Morris picked up, and ended up getting the win. Yeah, he definitely felt like he was definitely the strongest driver throughout the weekend. Had the pace advantage pretty much the whole time, and you saw different strategies play out, but Truly's ended up being the better one. Even taking an additional pit stop, he was able to make up the time and still come home the winner. But a strong showing for all three of these guys, really. Good win for Truly. Strong second place for GK, and strong third place for Morris as well. Who, yeah, it was a good battle up front the whole time. Yeah, I would definitely say those three are deserving of the podium. And you see, the game has named Truly the driver of the race. I think I agree with that. It's definitely a strong drive all the way around. Just look at the lap times. He had the best lap by over 2 seconds over anyone else. You're basically running a qualifying lap here in the race with a 1:31. Yeah, he won the pole, won the race, had the fastest lap. Really strong performance all around. Not much more you can say than that. So we went through the final finishing order as you saw the drivers cross the line. So we had 11 drivers finish the race. In 12th place we had Hayscran in the Alfa Romeo who DNF'd, and Bronco in the Ferrari also DNF'd and finished in 13th. That's a running order for today. And that's it here for PRL Tier 1. Thanks for joining us. Hope you all enjoyed the race. I know that I did. And join us here in just about 30 minutes, 37 minutes, and we'll have the Tier 2 race for you. Alright, see you all later.